What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from dopetechdaily.com, and today I'm bringing you guys a video that a few people requested and I really wanted to do, and that is a top tips video for customizing your Huawei Mate 9. Now I did video for this like for the Note 7, also for the S7 Edge. I like to do these for any of the big phones, especially the ones I really like, because once I get a phone I really like, I'm using it as my daily driver. I like to customize the phone, make it my own, and there's quite a few things on the Huawei Mate 9 that you're going to want to do when you get it to customize this phone and give yourself the best experience possible. So the way I like to do this is I'm going to go ahead and start off with the things that you should do at the basic level that are built into the EMUI 5.0 software, just tweaks you can make to the settings that will give you a better experience. So let's go ahead and head into the settings menu, and then I'll move on to some more advanced things like changing the launcher, getting a quality wallpaper from a good wallpaper app, icon pack. I'll talk about all the stuff on my home screen at the very end of the video. It might be pretty long. You guys can check the description, and I'll have an outline below that you can check out if you want to skip around. Now, as we go into the settings, there's a ton of settings here in the EMUI 5.0 menu, and quite a few of these things you might be interested in. The first thing is the dual SIM. If you have two SIMs, that's not very common in the US. You can go in here and set it up. You can also choose which SIM you want to use for various things, like calling, etc., and how you want those two to receive 4G data allocation. So that's something if you're interested in that. I have multiple SIMs. I've tested it out. Works great on the phone. The thing that you probably want to come across first to make a big choice once you get the phone is your home screen style, as you guys can see right here. The default out of the box is actually the standard Android app drawer method where you have a home button there, which is something that Huawei didn't do on their previous versions of EMUI. Really happy to see them do that. You can go back to the standard, which shows all the apps on the home screen. That's very similar to the iPhone. So you want to go in there and make a choice. The next thing is the display. The display here, you've got a lot of options in display that you'll want to look at. Obviously the wallpaper, which we'll talk about later. The view mode, which tells you basically how much stuff you can fit on the screen. You can see you've got small, which shows you how it's going to look, medium, how it's going to look, and large. Of course, this is very similar to the DPI scaling options that I showed on the Galaxy S7 Edge when that phone came out, and that's essentially what you're doing here with the view mode. You can also change the font size, the font style if you're interested. The next thing down here is the eye comfort. I highly recommend that you set this up if you use your phone in bed. I try to always turn it on and off manually, but if you want to put it on a schedule, you can by enabling the schedule here. That'll automatically start it at a certain time at night when you go to bed and turn it off when you wake up. Now, I go to bed and wake up at different times because of my schedule as a professor. I teach my classes different times on Monday, Wednesday, Friday versus Tuesday, Thursday. But this might be a good option for people who do work at the same time every day. The next thing, color temperature. One of the biggest complaints about people when they get a smartphone is they don't like the temperature of the display. It's too cool, it's too warm. Well, you can fix that here. You can change it to a warm or cold display, or the default, which I've kept enabled. I actually like it quite a bit. It's a little cool by default. So if you want to, you can play it around with the color wheel here and actually drive it to a custom position, which is very, very nice. Otherwise, you've got auto rotate, which of course is in your quick settings as well. Nothing else really advanced there. The notification and status bar has some pretty rich options that you'll want to check out. The first one here at the top, notifications management. You'll want to determine by clicking on the settings wheel at the top how you want your notifications to appear when the device is locked. You see I'm showing all notification content. You also have the option to not show notifications at all or hide sensitive notification content, which of course you can custom choose which those are. And it says if the device is locked, prevent typing replies or other text and notifications, which of course that's something that you might want to enable depending on if you lend your phone out to various people. You can also refine the individual notifications here and what sort of notifications you get for each app. Also in the notifications menu, if you come back from notification management, you can choose your notifications to turn on the screen. I don't like that feature as it eats up quite a bit of battery life. I do love having the pulse notification LED. That's great, lets you know when you got a notification. Display the carrier name. I mean, I don't really care too much about that. You can turn this on or off. It's really your preference. I have it there because I switch between AT&T and T-Mobile. I just want to remember which one I have there. Notification method. You can choose between the stock icons or numbers for your notifications. And also you can choose where your battery percentage is displayed. Either next to the icon or in the battery icon. You guys can see in my particular case right now, my battery percentage is right there inside the icon. If I switch that to go next to the icon, then you can see what it looks like right there. Takes up a little more room in your notification tray. So if you want to get a few more icons up here, if you get a lot of notifications, might be worth it to go ahead and put the battery percentage inside the icon itself. The next thing is the navigation keys here. You can choose a custom combination. Kind of hard to see here because it's a little bright. I've got the default there, which you can see you've got the back, the home, and also your recent apps. You can also add a couple of other shortcut keys there and in different arrangements if you want to customize those for your own personal uses. Fingerprints, obviously, I've mentioned this in the past. You want to set up at least 2 fingerprints, both index fingers in my opinion, with a rear-facing fingerprint scanner. If you notice on this Huawei phone, it will not let you set up the fingerprint twice. So I tried to do this and noticed that it would not allow me to do it. So my normal recommendation of setting up the fingerprint multiple times to improve accuracy appears to be a moot point with the Huawei Mate 9. In any case, go ahead and set up at least your 2 index fingers. So of course you can use the fingerprint scanner. It's free security and it's very, very fast and easy to get into the phone. The fingerprint scanner is great on this phone. You also have some gestures you can use with the fingerprint scanner. One of those is touch and hold gesture to take photo or video. Also the one I really like, which is the slide gesture to show the notification panel. I slide my finger over the rear of the phone, fingerprint scanner. I get my quick settings right in the notification panel. Really, really nice. You can also choose to browse photos using the slide gesture as well. Not something I would ever use. I prefer getting into the notification panel, but you might like that feature. Let's see, the fingerprint ID. The next thing is the screen lock. So you want to go in and set up your screen lock, obviously. Choose your smart unlock options if you want any lock screen signature there as well. This will be the place where you'll do all of that. Also set up your password or PIN, or you can also set up a pattern unlock. When you have a fingerprint in there, you do have to have a PIN or one of those pattern unlocks as well. You'll want to go into the apps and take a quick look. So if you go into your apps, there's a settings cog here at the bottom. If you click on the settings cog, tap on the settings cog, you'll see you have the app permissions there. If you go back into the memory and storage, and then we've got battery. Battery is a really important one because there's a couple of things you're going to want to turn off for sure. The first thing you're going to want to turn off is when you go into the settings cog here at the top, this power intensive prompt which warns you about apps that are using too much battery life. Turn that off because it's very, very annoying. Thankfully, Huawei has given you the option to turn it off this time. In the past, it's persisted no matter what you do. Also, close excessively power intensive apps. I highly recommend turning that off because otherwise you're not getting the full power of the Huawei Mate 9. And also, this phone has excellent battery life, so there's really no need to enable that option. Now, if you do want to get extended battery life, say you're somewhere where you don't have a charger, you can enable power saving mode or ultra power saving mode. Of course, it will exclude those apps that I showed you earlier that are allowed to run in the background, but you can get significantly more battery life, and they show you some estimates there of the battery life you can expect to get. One last cool feature that's built into EMUI 5.0, which I really like, but I haven't really used that much yet because I'm using a third-party launcher. You can install a twin app if you're using the stock launcher for like Facebook. If you have the stock Twitter app, I use Flamingo, so that doesn't work there. If you have 2 Facebook accounts, you can set up 2 different Facebook icons, one for each of your accounts, and you can be signed in to both accounts at the same time on this phone, which is really, really nice and convenient if you do have 2 Facebook accounts or 2 Twitter accounts. Couple limitations is it only works with Facebook stock app and also, of course, Twitter stock app, which is a problem for people like me who use Flamingo, Falcon Pro, etc. So that's most of the stuff I would go in and change and set up, make some decisions in the regular settings, stock out of the box, set up your fingerprint, choose your display options, and take care of a couple of those smart features. Then when you're done with that, you can decide if you really want to stick with the EMUI 5.0 launcher. For me, it's pretty smooth. It's a lot better than Huawei's done in the past. I think they deserve a lot of credit for improving that. But I'm still rocking out with Action Launcher 3. So I highly recommend if you want a really solid launcher, go check out Action Launcher 3. And if you notice, I don't have any app drawer button here on my bottom row. And that is because I'm actually using the Pixel Launcher. Action Launcher 3 has support for the Pixel Launcher features. You just swipe up from your bottom row to get right into your app drawer. Very, very nice. And since I'm also using the Pixel along with the Mate 9 as my daily drivers, this makes sure that I don't have to switch back and forth between clicking on an app drawer button and then sliding up on my Pixel. They're both consistent. You also get this beautiful quick theming option that integrates with your wallpaper in Action Launcher 3. You've got the slide out menu with all your apps if you don't want to have to swipe up. All this beautiful color coordination. I love Action Launcher 3, tons of great features, and I am using the dark sky weather widget for anybody that's curious. I also, of course, like the fact that with a third-party launcher, you can get custom icons. In this particular case, I'm using the icon pack called Neon Glow C by Vertimus. It's one of his newest packs, and I love his work. All of his packs, pretty much for the most part, I own. You guys have probably seen in the past. These icons are particularly beautiful, and they look great with any wallpaper that you use. Now, the wallpaper I have, of course, as you know, usually comes from backdrops. In this particular case, that's no exception. You can see that I have a wallpaper taken from the Google Earth collection in backdrops, but as always, they have a great array of wallpapers you can use with any icon pack, and Action Launcher 3 will allow you to quick theme this by going in here, going up to the very top where it says quick theme, and you can choose the colors for your search box, all apps, quick drawer, and quick page background. Really, really nice. Looks like a very clean setup, and this is the customization I'm using for my Mate 9. Now, if you guys have any other suggestions that you found for the Mate 9 that found particularly useful for you, this is what I'm doing. The stock launcher is great. It's much better than it was in the past. You can definitely use it, but if you want to go that extra mile, try a custom launcher, try a custom icon pack. I'll throw the links to everything I've shown in this video in the description below. You guys can find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. Really appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you'd like and subscribe for future videos like this, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.